Oh my God! Let me tell you about a moment that changed everything on Love and Marriage Huntsville. The reunion show wasn't just dramatic, it was the kind of explosive that leaves permanent scars. When Destiny and Tisha faced off, the tension in that room was electric, crackling with months of unspoken accusations and buried hurt. What we witnessed wasn't just another reality TV argument, it was the death of a friendship that had once seemed unshakable. The cameras caught plenty, but what they didn't show, what was left on the cutting room floor, that's where the real story lies. The deleted footage reveals layers of betrayal so deep, so personal, that it makes what aired look like child's play. But to truly understand why this hit both women so hard, why it sent shockwaves through the entire cast, we need to go back to where it all began. For 4 seasons, Destiny and Tisha were more than just friends. They were each other's shelter in the storm. Their bond wasn't built on the superficial things that often bring reality TV stars together. No, this was deeper. This was about 2 women who knew what it felt like to be pushed to the outside, to have their every move questioned, to feel like they were constantly fighting to prove their worth. Tisha especially had weathered more storms than most. Her relationship with Melody Holt had been a constant source of tension, filled with accusations that cut to the bone. Season after season, she faced questions about jealousy, about the authenticity of her friendships, even about troubles in her marriage. Each attack seemed to leave another scar, another reason to keep her guard up. And Destiny, she understood that pain on a visceral level. Her own falling out with Melody had been the kind of betrayal that changes you. Melody had been more than a friend. She had been family. When that relationship crumbled, it left the kind of wounds that don't heal clean. It was only natural that Destiny and Tisha would find their way to each other. They shared not just a common enemy, but a deep understanding of what it meant to feel betrayed, to feel misunderstood. In those early days, their alliance seemed unbreakable. When the world turned its back on Destiny, Tisha stood firm. She didn't waver, didn't let public opinion or cast drama sway her loyalty. And when Tisha found herself in yet another storm with Melody, Destiny was right there, backing her up, throwing shade at their common enemy, making it clear that this time, Tisha wasn't standing alone. They became each other's confidants, sharing secrets, strategies, and support. In a world where alliances shifted like sand, Destiny and Tisha seemed to have found solid ground. They celebrated each other's victories, defended each other's honor, and presented a united front that seemed impenetrable. Their friendship became a focal point of the show, proof that genuine connections could exist even in the cutthroat world of reality TV. But beneath this picture-perfect friendship, something was shifting. The changes were subtle at first, so subtle that if you weren't watching closely, you might have missed them entirely. It started with small moments, barely noticeable shifts in energy. A hesitation here, a missed defense there. The kind of things that are easy to explain away, to dismiss as imagination. The whispers started slowly. People who claimed to have Tisha's best interests at heart tried to warn her. They saw things she didn't want to see. Destiny having private conversations with their critics, nodding along when someone threw shade at Tisha, staying suspiciously quiet during moments when she would have once jumped to Tisha's defense. But Tisha, ever loyal, brushed these warnings aside. She'd heard similar things before, had people try to come between her friendships. She wasn't about to let gossip and speculation poison something she believed in so deeply. This loyalty, this unwavering faith in their friendship, would make what happened next even more devastating. As the season progressed, the changes in Destiny became harder to ignore. Her energy was different, her responses more calculated. Where she once would have been the first to defend Tisha, now she would often stay silent, or worse, change the subject entirely. When she did speak up, her words lacked their usual fire, their usual conviction. It was as if she was trying to play both sides of the fence, keeping her options open while maintaining the appearance of loyalty. Then came the indirect jabs, the subtle comments that could be interpreted in multiple ways. Destiny started dropping lines like, "You have to watch who you trust in this group," and "Some people pretend to have your back but will throw you under the bus first chance they get." On the surface, these could have been about anyone, but the timing, the context, it all seemed to point in Tisha's direction. But the real shock came when Destiny began forming closer relationships with people who had historically been Tisha's adversaries. She was spotted having intense, private conversations with Melody, the very person who had caused both of them so much pain in the past. These weren't just casual chats, they were deep, emotional discussions that suggested reconciliation was on the horizon. For someone like Tisha, who valued loyalty above all else, this felt like the ultimate betrayal. It wasn't just about Destiny talking to their former enemies, it was about the secretive nature nature of these conversations, the way they seemed to happen behind Tisha's back, the fact that Destiny never mentioned them until others brought them up. By the time the reunion rolled around, the tension was unbearable. You could feel it in the air, see it in the way Destiny and Tisha carefully avoided direct eye contact, in the way they sat as far apart as possible on the reunion couch. Then Carlos King, proving why he's the master of reality TV drama, asked the question that would blow everything wide open. Do you feel like you were ever truly loyal to Tisha? The silence that followed was deafening. The entire room held its breath, waiting for Destiny's response. When it finally came, I was loyal in the ways that I could be. You could literally see Tisha's heart break on camera. Her face went through a whole journey of emotions in seconds. Shock, hurt, betrayal, and finally anger. In the ways that you could be? What kind of answer is that? Tisha demanded, her voice trembling with emotion. Either you were loyal or you weren't. There's no in between. That's when everything exploded. Destiny, instead of backing down, doubled down. I had my own stuff going on, Tisha. I wasn't about to fight your battles when I had my own to deal with. Those words hit like a physical blow, and Tisha wasn't about to take them lying down. You sat up here for months pretending we were friends, she fired back, years of suppressed hurt and anger finally breaking free. You were out here hanging with people who don't even like me, smiling in their faces, nodding while they talked about me behind my back, and now you want to act like you didn't know exactly what you were doing? Then Carlos King pulled out his trump card, actual receipts, messages showing Destiny engaging in conversations about Tisha behind her back. The room went completely still as he started reading. Destiny's weak defense of, "I don't remember saying that," only made things worse. The other cast members' reactions told the whole story. Marceau shaking his head in disappointment, Kimmy looking like she wanted to disappear into the couch, and Melody wearing an expression that said she'd been waiting for this moment all along. Finally, Tisha stood up, her whole body shaking with emotion. "You're fake, Destiny," she declared, her voice thick with hurt and disgust. "And you know what? We're done. We are completely done." Destiny, still trying to maintain control, attempted to flip the script. "Tisha, you've been looking for a reason to turn on me." But Tisha shut that down immediately. "No, girl, you gave me plenty of reasons. I just refused to see them until now." What happened next wasn't shown on air, but the deleted footage tells an even more dramatic story. After that confrontation, Destiny stormed off set, refusing to continue filming. She felt attacked, cornered, like no one was willing to hear her side. But what's telling is that Tisha didn't follow her. She didn't try to make peace or salvage what was left of their friendship. Instead, she sat back down, looked at Carlos King, and said words that carried the weight of painful realization. "I should have seen this coming all along. This wasn't just another reality TV spat that would be forgotten by next season. This was the end of a friendship that had meant everything to both women. Years of trust, support, and shared struggles, all reduced to ashes in a matter of minutes. The fallout sent ripples through the entire cast, forcing people to choose sides, creating new alliances and deepening old rivalries. The question now isn't whether Destiny and Tisha can repair their friendship. That bridge has been thoroughly burned. Instead, everyone's wondering where they go from here. How does Destiny move forward when she's potentially burned her last bridge? Was this betrayal something she planned all along, or did she simply get caught up in playing both sides until it all fell apart? One thing's certain, this isn't the end of the drama. In fact, what happens next might be the most shocking chapter yet in this ongoing saga, because in the world of love and marriage Huntsville, every ending is just the beginning of an even bigger story.